Welcome to the April Spotlight on Investments, brought to you by producersweb.com. I'm Paul Wilson, and in this broadcast, we'll cover some of this topic's biggest trends and most insightful research. This Spotlight on Investments is sponsored by Gradient Investments, LLC. Finally, experience on your side. For more information, please visit gradientinvestments.com. Issuers of asset-backed securities need to have more quote-unquote skin in the game, according to a series of recommendations for new rules issued by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, this week. SEC Chairman Mary Shapiro proposed a new rule that would require issuers of asset-backed securities to retain 5% of the securitization, creating a better alignment of issuers' and investors' interests because they would be exposed to the same risks. Asset-backed securities played a large role in the financial crisis when investors mistakenly believed they were buying into relatively safe investments that were actually exposed to subprime mortgages and other risky loans. Other proposals include rules that would require greater disclosure about the type and quality of loans that have been securitized, and a requirement to give first-time investors a 5-day window to consider transaction-related information before they invest. Nearly two-thirds of Americans would still prefer to own a home. However, the recent housing market, combined with economic uncertainty, has made them more cautious about the details, according to a survey released today by mortgage lender Fannie Mae. The survey found that 65% of homeowners and renters nationwide believe there is still value in owning a home. But the survey also shows that home buyers have become increasingly cautious after the housing bubble burst, leading to a number of foreclosures and a national recession. Over 40% of respondents said personal safety was their main consideration when purchasing a home, while one-third said that the quality of local schools was the dominant factor. According to Doug Duncan, chief economist at Fannie Mae, quote, "Consumers are still committed to owning a home, but are showing increased cautiousness." This survey was done to get a level set about what the public is thinking about housing after the huge disruption. We wanted to understand the current and expected behavior of borrowers and how to help people who have difficulties, unquote. The survey also found that 60% believe buying a home today is harder than it was for their parents, while almost 70% feel it will be even harder for their children. However, approximately two-thirds believe now is a good time to buy a house, while nearly one-third believe it is a very good time to purchase a home, nearly the same percentage as those who believed it was a good time to buy in 2003. Investors cut back on equities and raised exposure to bonds in March, exhibiting a degree of caution about the upcoming months, according to a recent poll conducted by Reuters. The poll of 47 leading worldwide investment houses also showed reduced exposure to emerging market stocks. Overall, the investors held an average of 53.5% of a typically mixed asset fund in equities, down from 55.4% in February. Meanwhile, bond holdings increased to 34.5% from 33.3%. Fueled by an increase in investment-grade corporate credit. Finally, the percentage of equities in emerging market stocks fell to 12.3% in March from 14.3% in February, while emerging market bonds made up 5.8% of a fixed income portfolio versus 6.7% the month before. I'm Paul Wilson, and thanks for watching the Spotlight on Investments. To see more video spotlights on your favorite products and practices, find them on producersweb.com and browse by topic.